We're going to be creating a galaxy. Let's get started. We're going to use a brand new program we've never used before that's called Adobe Dimension. It's this green little DN, but you're not going to see it over here on the right. This is called our dock. You're not going to see it right away. We actually have to open a specific folder to get in there. Before I start, I just want you to know you can pause, rewind, anything you need to do. Go do this whole video on your own pace. You don't have to go fast, don't have to go slow. Go over here to the dock on the right-hand side and look for a folder at the bottom that says Applications and click on it. What we're looking for is, this folder is actually blank. You may have to look around and see if you can find Adobe Dimension. If you don't see it at all, you click on this red folder and click on this little rainbow here, and this will pop up, and I can come over and help you with this, but you'll download Adobe Dimension. You'll say install if it isn't already installed. Let's hope that it is. So we go over here and we click and we go into Adobe Dimension and we click on this green DN like this. And it'll start bouncing and then it'll eventually open. It'll say Adobe Dimension. And what we'll do once we get this open is we're just going to make a new document. We're going to make a brand new one. And we'll just start from scratch. It's not very hard to do. Once it opens, depending on how big your screen is, it may be small or big. That football one is from one of my high school classes. So to begin with, I'm going to go in the corner and hit Create New. Just press that button and it's going to process a new document for us. This part in the middle is called the stage. It'll load here in a second. This is a three-dimensional program, so it takes a lot of memory to load. Right now it's obviously empty, so we need to start with our background for our galaxy. So we're going to go over to Google Chrome, or we're going to click Safari, either one, and this is where we're going to end up, but we need to create a new tab. And we're going to go to one of my favorite websites called Unsplash, U-N-S-P-L-A-S-H, Unsplash. Whoop, there's an extra J, but it found it. I did that on accident. So looking for Unsplash. I'm going to click on it. And what Unsplash is it's a website made by professional photographers where they put up photos for you to look at, to hire them from, or students can use them for art projects. Just can't use it in the real world for... like if you were working for McDonald's, you couldn't use it in a McDonald's ad. You'd have to pay the photographer. So we're going to go to the top and we're going to search. You can put in space. You can put in galaxy. Let's see what ends up working here. These ones across the top are all, this is like a banner ad. These are all pay ones at the top. So those at the top you're not going to end up wanting to use. What we're going to look for is one of the ones that is free for us to use. And if we look at them, some of them have little pluses in the corner. And that plus means that it is a pay one. We can't use it. We can't download that one. And that's what that plus means in the corner. So we're going to scroll down and look at our different options. We don't want anything with a person in it. We don't want anything with an object like a rocket ship in it. For our background, we want to have no trees. We want something that's going to be pretty much just space. This already has a planet in it, so we can hit load more, but I think what we're looking for is something more like this one here. But it has a plus and a lock, which means we can't download that one. So we need to try to find, see, this may be not the best option. So we're going to put in instead Galaxy, G-A-L-A-X-Y, Galaxy. And let's see if we get better results here. Great. Okay, so we need to look for one that just has this arrow and doesn't have a little plus next to it. So let's find, okay, let's do this one. This one has a little download arrow. I'm going to click this. So Galaxy was the right choice. It downloaded for us. Great. I'm going to hit the yellow button and minimize this. And I want to use this as my background. So I'm going to click this button in the upper right that just looks like a blue smiley face. This is called our dock. So on our dock, the top of it, when I click Finder, we're going to get this little window that opens up. And we have recents and applications, desktop. We're going to go into downloads because we know we just downloaded this picture. I'm going to take it and I'm going to drag it right in. And this is going to become our background for us to put our planets over top. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now we're going to build our planets over top of this surface. Great. So over here on the left, we're going to look for the sphere. Hopefully it's automatically there for you. And we're going to take the sphere, we're going to drag it in. So we're going to drag in the first one, Great. I'm just going to kind of move it over here to the side a little bit. It's okay if it goes off the edge, not a problem. Drag a second one here. There's two. I can move it around in space when I move it further away. It's going to get a little smaller. I want to get probably 5 different planets here. The minimum is going to be 3, but I think 5 would be pretty good. Move one back over here. Let's put another one kind of in the middle, like our main focus is going to be this one here. Then I'm going to do another small one way in the back, just like the way odd numbers, whoop, it's kind of off the edge. Let me pull it down a little bit here. Just like the way that the odd numbers look. I'm going to pull this here. You can arrange them kind of however you want. Click and drag to change the size of them. Let's do that. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I like how that looks. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to actually put some texture over top. Now, texture in art is something that looks like you can feel it. So let's try this. The second button in the upper left-hand corner, the first one is our objects. The second one over is materials. And if you scroll through, you're going to see there's lots and lots and lots of cool choices. But we want not a smooth one. We want one where it actually you can see a texture on the surface, like these. This is brown cork. So I have this planet selected, so it's going to put brown cork. There it goes, right over top. I'm going to pick another planet and choose a different texture. Let's go through my list. Remember, I want something that looks like it has kind of a rougher surface. I don't want something smooth and slick. What's this one? Sand. Is that sandstone? Yeah, sandstone. That's cool. I like that one. I'm going to go back here to this planet. I'm going to pick another one. These are all kind of shiny ones. This is a little wild. That doesn't look like realistic, though. That just looks like plastic. We want a planet to look like a planet here. Some cool, like rough craters, almost like there's mountains. Here's one. Strong, what's this one called? Strong folded metal. That's great. Go to this planet in the back. We'll click on this one. Try to find another one not shiny, but one that looks like leather. Oh, that's cool. We'll do that one. Takes a minute to load. If it doesn't load immediately, you can click on it again. And in a second, yep, now it's loading. It's going to load on this planet right here. I'll have one more. Okay, let's click on this last planet and find one last texture that I like. I'm going to go to the top because I like the ones that are concrete and asphalt. What's this one? Rough asphalt. Great. That's going to be this planet right here. It'll take a second to load. It'll load and it'll pop in. And then in a minute, we're going to find some textures to drag over top. So good, that's a good start. We're not done yet though. We go back to Google Chrome, we go back to Unsplash. This time I want to think of some things from the real world, not people, not animals, not buildings, things that are like textures. For example, moss. Let's see if we can find moss. And remember, when we're choosing these, we can't do one with a plus and a lock. So we need to try to find one that doesn't have a plus or a lock. That's close. This one has a lock on it. So does this. There's a lot of them with locks on it for this category. If you get stuck, go to the top and type in something else. Let's do grass. Okay, that one. Okay, this one could work. I think I can do a little bit of a better one. Let's try to find a cooler one. How about this one? Okay, this one's good. I'm going to hit the down arrow to download this one. I'm going to go back to Dimension. I'm going to click on my Finder so I can have 2 windows open. I have Dimension open and I have our Finder. So here's what we just downloaded. Like we dragged in our galaxy picture, now we're going to take this picture of the grass and drag it right over top of a planet. And just hold for a minute. And then once you see that picture, you can let go. It's going to say convert. Every time you have to convert it first. So hit the blue button to convert it. Even though we dragged our picture in, we actually have to drag twice. Go back to Finder. Drag that picture. This time it's going to work. Drag it over top. Let go. Give it a second. And it's going to put the picture over top. Now the problem is it doesn't cover the entire thing. Now we can see that cool texture here, but we actually have to grab either this white square or we have to grab the blue ring and pull. And what's going to happen is it's going to wrap it like a Christmas present. We got to make sure we get the whole thing. There we go. We don't want to show any of the edge of the original planet showing. So that's pretty good. Now I click off of it to have it deselected. That looks great. And now I'm going to repeat the process. I'm going to go back to Chrome. This time I'm going to type in Rust. Let's see what I get. Rust would be a really cool thing. Okay, that's a great first one. These are all ads at the top. Let's find one that doesn't have a plus. We can even get more specific. I may even put Rusty, M-E-T-A-L, Rusty Metal, and see what we find here. Oh, these are great. Let's try some of these. Let's see if there's one without. Oh, great. This one doesn't have a plus on it. I'm going to download this one. Just click that arrow to download it. Once it's downloaded, we can check our folder and see if it's there yet. It should pop up right here momentarily. If it doesn't, you can go back in and hit that download button again, but I believe it's going to pop up here in a second. Yep, here it comes. And then once it's done, you'll be able to see a little preview of it. You'll know that it's fully downloaded. There it is. Let's click back on our icon for dimension to go back to dimension, and we're going to drag it over top of this planet. So I'm going to select this planet, go back to my finder, that's that smiley face, and we're going to drag it over top. Remember from before, it's going to say convert first. Convert it to a different type of model. And that's a type of model that we can drag pictures over top of. So it converted it. Now we have to do it our second time, twice every time, but it's easy to do. Now this should work. And it's probably not going to cover the whole thing. But we still, yeah, great. We still have those nice craters. So I'm going to grab the white box this time and pull to stretch it out. And we have to hold for a second. Remember, it's rendering it in 3D. So it takes a lot of memory. Pull. We need to wrap that whole Christmas present. Now I'm going to try and grab that blue ring, pull the blue ring out a little bit, and get it so it covers our entire planet. That's what we want. The whole planet covered. Great. We got it. That looks fantastic. Now I'm going to click in the blank space off of it to deselect this planet because that planet's all done. So we have to click on the outside, and then we repeat the process again. We go back, we put in something else. Rusty Metal was good. Let's think of something else from nature. We could do, let's see, let's do bark, like a bark on the side of a tree. We can even put tree. Great, remember no animals. This one is pretty great here. Let's see if this, oh great, let's hit the download button. I like this one. Now while I'm at it, I kind of like this one too. I'm going to download this one. This is a great category. I'm going to take a couple of these ones. These are pretty cool. Oh, that one's locked. We can't use the ones that are locked. I'm going to X out of this too. How about this one? This is great. I'm going to download 3 for the heck, hitting the yellow button. And let's see, let's click on our finder and see if any of them downloaded. Yeah, they did. So this time, I'm going to move this down. I'm going to drag it over top of this planet on the right. And let's try this. I'm going to drag it over top. Remember the first time it always says convert. Yep, we're going to convert it. And we repeat the process. So I go back to that folder again. While it's converting, I can open that folder. And I'm going to drag it over top. This time it should work. 2 times the charm every time. So give it a second to load. And then once it does, we're going to take that blue ring or the white box and pull so that it covers the entire planet. There we go. Great. I'm going to click off of it to apply that one on that specific planet. Great. I'm going to speed this up and repeat the process here. Okay, now that we're done, I'm going to show you how to save. It's a little bit different with this program. We have to go up here in the corner and we hit render. So the version I need is you have to hit this render button first. So when you hit render, it'll go to this screen, and this is actually what's going to process our image for us. So on the right is the important part here. We export file name. We're going to put Galaxy and then you put your name, because these are all going to be in a big folder and I need to know whose is whose. And it's currently going on my desktop, but I can change that if I want, but I think desktop is just fine. So I'll hit cancel. That's a good spot to put it. If you really want to, you can save it and put it in a different place like downloads. And then the format is a PNG file. That's perfect. It's exactly what I need. So I'm going to hit render. And when I click this button, what's going to happen is it's going to start slowly processing all of the image, all of the pixels. It'll pop up a little preview right here in a second. And then in this bottom corner, it says Galaxy Mr. A camera. And there's a time, and it's going to start processing it. And you're going to see along the bottom how long it takes to save and process. It shouldn't be too long. If we take a look at it, you're going to see it should not be that bad. How long should it take to be done? Probably not too long. These computers are pretty good. Good. The render has been saved. I'm going to X out of it here. That looks fantastic. So I'm going to minimize it. And then your final step is to go back to Google Classroom and upload it. So let's find it's on our desktop. I'm going to click on it and double click to open what our final image looks like. Awesome. That is great. It came out so good. So here's our Galaxy. I hope you enjoyed it. Just don't forget, our very last step that we're going to need to do is take this file and upload it to Google Classroom. When you get to that step, raise your hand and I will come over and help you. Thanks for watching.